the shop, I have this 408 LS motor. This is the turbo flavor. This is the nitrous flavor LS3. But we're going to use this to mock up the GZ Motorsport vacuum pump that I bought for this car. But you'll be surprised if I told you that it really came with no instructions. This is just a little blurb about setting up the Mandrel. So that's no good. And I probably spent a good hour trying to line the bracket up to the head. I'll show you what I mean. Aluminum bracket they send you with the kit. This is the pump here. I believe this is the VS 104 or VP 104 vacuum pump. Now if you know about these nitrous LS motors, they tend to have a little blow-by if you loosen the rings up for nitrous or what have you. This will make up to 50 inches of vacuum, I believe, something like that. It's set up for this horsepower level. I assume it's adjustable somewhere. I don't know, it wasn't in the instructions. This bracket here, and I can only get 2 bolt holes to line up. So I emailed the gentleman that sold this to me from GZ, and he said, well, 2's good enough. I said, okay. So I lined it back up, ended up marking and drilling an additional hole so I could put all 3 bolts that were supplied with the kit. And that really kind of stiffened it up. Now, this doesn't, it's not like it's an alternator or something that's gonna drag a bunch of horsepower. So is there gonna be a lot of like rotational torque on this plate? Probably not, but I feel better having all 3 bolts. So let's just get into it here. We'll go through installing this on the front of the motor because I didn't even find anything on the internet. It told me, other than a picture of it already installed, but it never showed the bracket. Get this installed and I'll show you how I did it. Alright, as you can see here, take this bracket. There's several different ways that line up on here, but I figured out if you use this bottom block hole here, or top block hole here, then it gave me 3 positions where it lined up. So it would be this bolt hole, this one, and this one. So what they give you is the hardware and these spacers to bring it up off the block. Last one here actually goes into the block. Now you're probably asking yourself, why am I installing it on this one? Is it going to be different on the LS3? Nope, it's exactly the same. So this is an ATI balancer here, and this is a Camaro hub that it's bolted to. The LS3 has the same setup, has same balancer, same hub. So the distance from the timing cover out to the middle or anywhere on this ATI balancer, it could be the front, is the exact same as it is on the LS3. Because it's not staying on, I'm just using a farm wrench here. But as you see, that really gets it on there. This pump just has the 2 180-degree opposed mounting locations here. And again, it comes with the hardware. And this bottom hole is threaded. This pulley comes off. You have to bolt that on when you get the kit. And it's a lot easier to put this bolt in without that on there. But I think these pumps are not made by GZ. I think these are aerospace pumps. I think GZ just makes the bracket, puts all the hardware together, puts the kit together for you and sells it as a unit. If you had the time, you could probably piece this all together yourself. I've seen these pumps on eBay, Amazon. But you know, I went to a single source for it because I figured, well, I'll get instructions, I'll get all the hardware, I'll get everything I need. And for the most part, I did. All right. And then this top piece here, this top slot, is to make your adjustment. Now I did have to modify this. I did have to modify this one, put a little flat spot on it. But I had to flatten that out a little bit so that I could get past that top bolt. Yep. I gotta find the right spot. Hold on. Again, don't force any of this down until you get everything correct. Now, if everything lines up like it's supposed to, you'll have a little, this top bolt here with a little bit, you'll have to work to get around it, but maybe I'll find a same bolt with a smaller head on it. This was the non-standard bolt. This is the one that I added. Now we have some adjustability here. And the next part you have to work on here is they send you this mandrel that runs off the front of that ATI balancer. And it has the 3 bolts. And they send you this chunk of aluminum here that you have to make spacers out of. So I'll show you how I did that, how I measured for that. I'll go ahead and put this on. Now these mandrels are specific to what you're running. If you're running a stock balancer or something, there's different setups for this pump where it'll actually drive off, I don't know if it's the alternator belt with an idler pulley. If you don't have an ATI balancer, and then I took the pulley. Now it has a keyway in it and then a Allen set. I'm not going to do that right now because it's not staying on this motor. But basically, he gave me a couple size different belts with the kit. Got it started on there. Make sure I was going to have enough to tighten it up. See that? To get this alignment correct, because I got a couple pieces of this 3/8 rod. Pinched it. Where it's nice and flat until that bottom pulley lined up with this top pulley perfectly. And you could visually see that it's not pushed out, it's dead straight. What's important here is the edges of these pulleys are flat with this piece of rod. So this is how I did it. You can do it however you want. And then I marked it, and then I measured from the face of this mandrel to the back of that pulley to make my inner spacer. So this worked out pretty well. And then again, this piece was one full piece when I got it. I cut it down. I just used a cutoff wheel and then I sanded it smooth by hand. And to get that back off there, pull that back off, put your number 1 spacer. Now it comes beveled on the inside, that goes on first or towards the mandrel. Put your pulley on, and then this is the outer spacer. Again, the bevel goes in. Well, I guess at this point it doesn't. And then you have an end cap. And this end cap is machined out to catch the very end of this mandrel, so it keeps it aligned. So make sure that when you make this outer spacer, you cut it back far enough that you catch the end of this mandrel. I'll make sure I can get it on before I get it all tight there. There we go. Snug this up a little bit. Alright, that's good. And there you have it. If you look right down that belt, I don't think you can get much straighter than that. It's dead on. So it shouldn't be flipping belts on us. So other things that come with this are some fittings here. These are 12AN push lock fittings. You'll have one for your outlet, one for your inlet. Your inlet gets plumbed to one of your valve covers. Your outlet goes to your catch can. This is so you can catch any oil that blows out of there. And they give you this push lock tubing. And this fitting here on a Holley style LS valve cover, these screw right in. So I'm going to order those LS tall valve covers for the LS3. The ones I have on there are Summit brand. They don't sell a piece like this, but I like this because you can take this port out and put a vacuum gauge in there. As you can see here on this one, these are the twist lock style. And the AN fittings, I believe these are 10s, 8s or 10s. So I don't want to cut it and show you all that because this isn't the motor it's going on. You can see down here on the mandrel how cutting those two pieces space this out. So it's very important to get that right. On my LS being a nitrous application, it does have a little blow by. The owner of the company that sent this to me said on a stock 5.3, they've seen about 15 horsepower, maybe 20 horsepower gain by creating a vacuum on this. Other important things here, these, if you have these on your valve covers, these vacuum hose or vents or whatever, they have to be plugged. This has to be completely sealed up to make vacuum on it. So even your dipstick here, a real easy solution would be to take your dipstick, throw it in your toolbox, and then put a rubber cap on this one with a zip tie. Or you can get a fancy one with the screw-in dipstick with the O-ring on it. This was pretty easy once I figured out the bracket and where I wanted it, and I think that this location gives me that ability to go way out with it. At least out to here, that'd probably be another 3-inch long belt. Before I go on the first race with this, I am going to stop and get 2 or 3 more of these in case I break them, flip them, whatever, because this is a narrow belt, rib belt. But that's it. That's installing this vacuum pump. That's all there is to it. Until next time, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, help me grow this channel. That takes you, and I appreciate it.